All righty. Somebody has to walk me
Okay.
through.
Trapezius.
Okay, so this was the latissimus. We'll hit that one real quick. That was the lower back, and we had to cut it to get down to some of the deeper muscles. The trapezius is the same. It is a superficial muscle on the upper back. So this is part of it here, and this is part of it here, covering the scapula. So you have trapezius that goes from the back of the head to the upper back, and then latissimus dorsi covers the lower back. Okay,
Rhomboideus.
okay. Should be where? What do y'all know?
Underneath the trap.
Yep. So under the trap, connecting from the spinous processes of the vertebra to that medial border of the scapula. So when you rotate the scapula, you see it here. That's where you get a lot of knots in those muscles, and you have to rotate the scapula to really get access to those. Okay?
Supraspinatus.
Yep, okay, there we go. So the spine of the scapula is right here. It's just that ridge, just like we have on our scapula. So supraspinatus is the muscle above that, above the spine. Infraspinatus is here, the muscle that fills in the fossa below the spine.
Makes sense. Okay, moving to the anterior thorax and the abdomen.
Okay,
Serratus anterior.
wait, did we do subscapularis? Did that, it might not be on your list.
It's not on our list.
It's going to be in the subscapular fossa, so on the underside of the scapula. Okay, so it's going to be here. So you have supra, infra, and sub underneath. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, serratus anterior.
Okay, it is this muscle here, kind of under the arm that curves around towards the anterior side. It looks like a serrated knife. It has lots of little points to it, like a fan. So this is your serratus anterior.
External abdominal oblique.
That is the external abdominal muscle. It comes right up underneath the latissimus dorsi. So your external, internal, and transverse are all in this piece. They're very thin on the cat, and they all run in different directions. So we can just see the external oblique from here.
And the rectus abdominis.
That is the vertical line of the abdominal muscles that you can't see well with this being cut, but you can see it on the model. That's the one that goes from the xiphoid process straight down to the pubic symphysis. Right.
Okay, moving to the anterior thigh.
Okay.
Sartorius.
Okay. So we've got two superficial muscles on the thigh. We have them on the human too, but they're a little thinner. So the sartorius and the gracilis are both these superficial muscles. The sartorius, thank you. The sartorius is on the lateral side. The gracilis is on the medial side. So they come together right at the knee. Okay, so sartorius is the smaller one on the lateral side.
Adductor longus.
Okay, we're going to skip adductor longus. We can't see it well in this dissected cat. It's go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Adductor magnus.
So adductor magnus is here. Adductor longus would be up even closer to the groin. An adductor muscle is going to adduct the hip, so pull the thigh inwards. So here is your adductor magnus. The longus would be above that, but we can't see it well. So here's the adductor magnus. Okay?
Semimembranous.
Semimembranosus is this muscle here. This big one, which really is one of our hamstring muscles for us. So here's the semimembranosus, like that, on both sides. If you look at the cat from the posterior side of the thigh, like you would with us, you would see the semimembranosus being in that place of the hamstrings. Okay. And then below that is your semitendinosus. So think membranosus and tendinosus. The tendinosus is like the skinny tendon-sized strip of muscle. The membranosus is much bigger. Again, like in us and our hamstrings, the semitendinosus is on the surface. The semimembranosus is just deep to that, because we look at our hamstrings this direction. Okay, and you'll see that on the models. Those two are actually in one piece of plastic on the model. It's actually one chunk. Okay?
Vastus lateralis.
Okay. Here, let me jump to this one real quick. The other side of the hamstrings, the lateral side, is your biceps femoris. Okay? So just like your biceps brachii that flexes the elbow, your biceps femoris, one of the large hamstrings that flexes the knee. So same idea. So you've got semimembranosus, semitendinosus, the smaller one, and then biceps femoris here. Okay. Now, and then what was the one you were headed to next?
Vastus lateralis.
Okay. These are your the three of the quads that we can see. So we're now on the anterior compartment. So we've got vastus lateralis, it's on the lateral side, vastus medialis on the medial side, and then rectus femoris is the one in the middle. So we can see 3 of the 4 quadriceps like this. And the tensor fascia that we were just looking at sits kind of on top of that vastus lateralis, because that IT band, remember, comes down the lateral side of the thigh. Okay, is that it?
Tensor fascia.
Oh, that's what we were just looking at.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Semi-ten.
We just did the tendinosus. We went a little bit out of order.
That's okay.
Gastrocnemius is the calf muscle. So we're now down in the lower leg. So this large muscle here is the gastrocnemius that inserts at the calcaneal tendon right there. Yep, gastrocnemius and calcaneal tendon, because it goes to the calcaneus, which is the bone of the heel. Excuse me. And then just deep to that is the soleus. It's another muscle of the calf. So here's deep to the gastrocnemius. They both insert on the calcaneal tendon. The soleus is deep to the gastrocnemius.
And that's all of them.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.